All right, so Mark and I decided to come back to Pescadero. When we first showed up here, there was so much fog that there wasn't much we could actually do, but it's starting to clear off right now. He's already set up and working, so I'm gonna get set up as well. Oh, he's doing that energy thing.
Oh shit.
There it is.
Vitamin B.
Oh, it's got,
actually, it's not bad.
It's got vitamin B, man. It's good for you.
I had caffeine, sorry.
Vitamin B and caffeine.
The idea was to focus on these shadow colors, these rock colors, but this kind of like blobby thing, I don't love. I'm being kind of critical right now, but that's our job, right?
Yeah, yeah,
We're
no,
supposed
exactly.
to like sketch it out. If we don't love it, then don't do it. If we love it, then do it.
Right.
But it's worth a try. At this stage, it's really easy to wipe out and start again and just feel out the composition. That's probably what I'll do.
All right, so I am thinking of something like this. Okay, so here is my sketch, and I'm gonna focus on reflections, you know, of the rocks. But as you can see, the water is moving out. So I'm gonna first work on the reflections in this area here, since the tide is going out and it's changing really quickly. And then I'll work on the background later, because that's more stable. Okay, so the sun is definitely coming out. I think I got the block in handled, so let's take a look. Alrighty, so I've just kind of approximated colors all over, trying to cover the whole panel. Because it's so bright out here, it's kind of awkward. I have to turn my easel so that the panel is not in the sun, but my subject is all the way over here. So I'm looking over my right shoulder to see the scene, but it's really difficult to get accurate values and colors when your panel is in the bright sunlight.
I got it screwed up because of the sun though.
Oh, I know, because the sun is, sun
so
came out.
I had to move it because it's like, try to remember the color of it, right? Because
oh yeah, so that's cool that you got the shapes of the reflections there to work with.
Right.
The water's going out.
This is a different scene completely now.
Yeah, it's totally changing. All right, so I'm at a point here where the light is completely changed, but I'm gonna kind of play around with this thing, and you know, sometimes it's good to get your eyes off of the subject and then actually start looking at the painting as a painting and seeing what it needs to, what you need to do. So far I'm in at about a half hour or 40 minutes, so it went pretty quickly. Let's say 40 minutes. So I'm gonna play around and see what happens. All right, so I think I'm gonna stop before I overwork this thing. I definitely approach things differently today. First we'll take a look and then we'll go have a talk. Okay, so there we go. As I mentioned, I was kind of primarily focusing on getting, you know, the wet sand here, and then some nice color in the cliffs. And also keeping it loose. All right, so I kind of approached this painting a little bit differently than normal. I think I took more time thinking about the composition than I normally do. And then also I used a different brush. I used a number 10 bright instead of a flat. And what else? Also, I tried to keep the edges soft, and then also back off the contrast, kind of high key the painting. In other words, the values are all lighter values. I avoided darks, like extreme darks. And the idea is that I wanted to get the feeling of atmosphere you get out here at the ocean. I'm gonna do a studio analysis of this painting, and I'll post that video on my Patreon channel, link down below, so if you're interested in further discussion. But for now, let's go see what Mark got into. Kind of a hard line here.
Yeah, it leads off the edge of the, like these two lines leading off the edge of the canvas, but yeah, that's kind of what I look for at the end of it. Is, are there any weird, where's the eye leading you? Is it following an interesting path, or is it leading off the canvas?
Right.
You kind of don't want that to happen. You want the viewer to stay in the canvas and play around with it.
Yeah. And have you heard of the term like a fast line? Have you heard that term?
No.
Okay, so like a fast line would be like a straight line. And sometimes if I've got, even if I see like a cliff or something that is a straight line that's leading off the canvas, it's like a fast line, I'll just kind of mess it up a little bit because it slows the eye down, so the eye's not just like boom right off the edge.
Yeah, you break it up.
He just hit this real quick with a palette knife, softened up that line we were talking about there. That looks better. Mark and I are getting really inspired here, trying to problem solve. We took out yesterday's painting, the painting he did yesterday down below, because there's a lot of really cool stuff going on in there. And then we were trying to decide, okay, what is it about this painting that is really working? And one thing we came up with is there's no lines at all in this painting. There are no lines. I mean, there's kind of a little bit of a hard line here, but basically it's just a mosaic of shapes, right? Take your time. I'm gonna pack up my stuff, you know? Cool. You're gonna wanna get a burrito again today, or you guys got it? All right, cool.
Are you down?
Oh, hell yeah, yeah. All right, I'm gonna let him work on that a little bit. I'm gonna pack up my stuff. I forgot to film an outro. We did go and get burritos. They were delicious as usual. That's one of my favorite things about Pescadero. You can paint, then go downtown, get a burrito, get a coffee. Anyway, I had a wonderful time painting with Mark this week. I feel like we kind of had fun making some discoveries out there. There were challenging conditions at times, but it was always really fun. So check out his Instagram. I'll link that down below in the description. And I look forward to painting with him again. He's traveling, he's on a painting trip, so if you follow along on his Instagram, you get to see where he goes and what he gets up to. So anyway, that's it for this video. I am excited to get back out and build on some of the discoveries, some of the things we were talking about. Primarily what I was referring to as lines, or like hard lines or whatever. Technically it's edges. It's where one color or one value meets the other, and how sharp that contrast is, or if it's blurred or blended. So either a hard or soft edge. I'll be talking about that more in future videos. Let me know if that sounds like it's interesting to you. I'm finding it's really important, especially when painting landscapes. Most of what you see outdoors, there's not a lot of hard edges out there. And there's not a lot of high contrast either. So that's kind of what I discovered this week, and I'm excited to get back out and kind of build on that knowledge and those discoveries. So that's it for this video. Like I say, I'm gonna do a little analysis of the painting, studio analysis. In fact, I'm gonna start working on that now. So I will post that on my Patreon channel, link for that down below as well. Thanks for hanging out, guys. I will see you in the next video.